Good evening, everyone. We'll call the town council meeting for the evening of April 14th to order. We'll start with the pledge of allegiance. Jeff, Moses, can you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Absent of form at the moment, so we'll go down to our reports. Gerald?
Didn't the sheriff's office report anything?
Well, I'm just looking at the agenda. Oh, yeah, public safety. I'm sorry, Tom,
Good evening.
you're not an easy guy to overlook.
Yeah.
My apologies.
For the month of March, the sheriff's office handled 193 calls for service in North Beach. It's up to 120. In March of last year, 2015, was 222. Call breakdown was 113 for self-initiated, 88 for other means, citizenry. And there were 2 CDS violations. One was a heroin arrest, one was for marijuana, which was over the 10 grams, which makes it criminal. There was a burglary, items taken from an unlocked shed. There were 2 destruction of properties. One was fraudulent repairs on a theft of payment. Technically, he supposedly damaged the house by repairing it, payment for repairing it, and left, and that was closed by arrest. One is a broken vehicle window, that was also closed by arrest. There was a theft from unlocked vehicle, it was under investigation. There were 2 non-fatal heroin overdoses, 1 DUI arrest, and 2 marijuana civil citations.
All right, does council have any questions of Tom?
Hi, I'm just curious on the overdose. Were they administered that drug that had been fatal?
Yes, actually, between the 2 twin beaches, I think, are together because it's together for second in the county next, I think, Lovely area for overdoses. We've had a watch that. I don't know if there's a bad string going around or what. It's just, they had 5 in Chesapeake Beach last month, and 1 was fatal. There's 2 here, both of them were Narcan, all was Narcan. Say,
What happens, I mean, you guys administer that, but they still, are they?
they go to the hospital and get coverage, so there's not much we can do with it. They made the Good Samaritan law, so
Hopefully they.
there's some steps that, I mean, there's a little bit of investigation to see if we can, track and other things, but we can't do anything to them personally, and it's, wish the law had like built-in counseling or something into it, but it doesn't.
It's not just mandatory.
Yep, it's just taking them to the hospital once they, because it, technically, if they took enough of it, Narcan would last for a little bit, they could go back in an overdose mode, they don't go to the hospital.
You try to find it where it's coming from.
But, so, our policy now is, and they just started this, for this year, is that, CID, or Criminal Investigations, is notified, and Narcotics Division is notified, and they'll come out and see what they collect from the scene, and maybe investigate it further to possible. But they can't charge anything from that.
Right. Okay, that helps.
But yes, the Narcan, all the officers have it, all the medical technicians have it now, so.
You just hope people don't feel like, that you guys will show up every time,
Yeah.
in time, it's dangerous.
Is that it? Thank you.
First Sergeant Dalton wanted to be here tonight, but he became a grandfather yesterday. He's with his, his son.
All right, we do have a quorum now.
Hold on.
Councilman Benton will not be with us this evening. So, let's have a roll call.
Mayor Brady?
Here.
Mr. Benton? Mr. Mickey Hummel?
Here.
Mr. Randy Hummel?
Here.
Mrs. Shada?
Here.
Mr. Wilcox?
Here.
Do we have a motion to approve the minutes from the council meeting last month?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Minutes from our work session last week.
So moved. Second.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? I'll just mention, we did originally have on there under business items, discussion about the boats that dredge. Subsequent to that appearing on the agenda, we are receiving updated information, new information, both in terms of the site disposal and an alternative way of dredging, that is hydraulic versus mechanical. Permit from the state stipulates mechanical, so we're not sure whether we have an option there. So staff will be researching these issues and had it put on the work session agenda. Okay.
Okay.
We have a motion. All those in favor of the agenda?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
We have the treasurer's report for February 1st through February 29th. The beginning balance was $574,000 in the general fund. Total debits was $441,000. Total credits was $313,000. Ending balance was $702,000. Total in MLGIP investments for the general fund was $2,287,000. MLGIP sewer capital was $34,000, and MLGIP water was $7,000. Total cash available to the town of North Beach for the month of February was $4,360,000. For the same period last year was $3,164,000.
Okay. Yeah, that is it. We have a good balance up above, 792. Council see the itemization of the receipts and disbursements over 7,500. Do you have any questions?
Will be adopted.
Accept the motion to accept the treasurer's report.
Second.
I can't come up with it, if I'm looking at the ending balance in the investments this month, I can't tell what we're going
Sheet 3. 3, Joe?
I think it's 3. I think there is an arithmetic there.
Okay, so I move to change the number to,
The correct number.
let's see if I can have it.
It should be 3.
Okay, the treasurer report is amended to reflect cash on hand of $3,360,513. That changed motion to accept the treasurer report.
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Good evening, everyone. Well, before you have a list of items public works been working on, in addition to our routine tasks, we spent a great deal of this report period working on the sidewalks in the Dayton Avenue area. Removed 3 large trees, had to remove the stump, which took 3 dump trailers to remove one of the tree stumps there. That was a 6-foot-9 tree. Did that, graded the area. We installed all new sewer connections in that area. We didn't have to come back later on. The sewer was put in the 50s. and have to dig up the new sidewalk or tear up the sidewalk, put cleanouts overall. So we went ahead and put all the new cleanouts in that area, to hopefully avoid that problem later on. Completed all storm drain cases in the area. Atlas Concrete is on site. They did complete the area from Fifth Street to Sixth Street. They will be back Monday to complete the curve on the east side, I'm sorry, and then do the sidewalk on Sixth and Seventh Street. We expect paving could take place as early as 2 weeks from now.
So you're gonna finish the concrete work between Fifth and Sixth before we go to Sixth?
Correct. Yeah, we wanted to finish that and get that over any traffic and parking back to normal now we have the way there. We also did the yards, so we finished the yards, we just have to do the sidewalk tying, so the residents right there between Fifth and Sixth, that's anything remaining of it. And then we'll, that way you're too thinking maybe if the paver has a little bit of time, we can jump in there and pave from the intersection of Sixth Street down to Fifth. And then we have to come back, you know, the another couple days and go from Sixth Street to Seventh Street. Things are working all parties on the floodlight project. Has been back on site after last week's meeting. They were here Friday morning. They did finish up the base work that they needed to do. They started on the geogrid and the fabric, and they also started on the rock. They're making pretty good progress. They went from the Lovers property almost around to where it terminates on the west side. Yes. To the Kelly property. They're just south of the Kelly property now. They'll probably be up there tomorrow with the geogrid. Pretty good progress so far. Hopefully that will continue to move it further on. We received quotes for the kayak launches on them. We're currently working, we didn't feel staff and also we didn't feel Jeff, and we had some parties working with us on that. Didn't feel that that was strong enough to withstand the type of wave action we had last week. They put a call into the company. They do show brackets in their catalog. There are substantial heavy-duty type brackets. Everything will work. We just have to get with them and make it see if that can work with the floating platform that they provide for us. I did put a call with them. Hopefully we can jump and meet with them next week. And we'll have something for you next week.
We have on the work session for May.
So we should be able to go by then. We had a illegal fishing incident at the pond. We had an osprey come in and
Oh, yeah.
it's some fun out there the other day. So, we put, we found some netting, we're going to confirm it, we're checking all kinds of solutions for that, and there is no really feel safe solution. But we went up, we installed some fabric type netting. It doesn't look, you can see right through it, that looks better than I thought. And so far it has protected from the ospreys coming through the outer circle never had to get through. So hopefully that'll work in the meantime, put a better solution for that. We had a problem with 601 feet, one of the connections from the pump up to the top of the fountain did crack, but the contractor came out and did that. We went around through town and placed all the faded graffiti type damaged stop signs. We found a company that sells, it's like a stick face over type stop signs. You don't have to buy a whole new sign itself, you just put like a sticker on it. We put them on, so we're going through town and placing all. We probably did about 70% of what we went through town today. We'll continue to get them all started around, so finish them up. And also they were working on some alleys. They had a lot of alleys in these that were pretty junked up, so had they could go around and working on some of the alleys that clean them up from the weekend.
Thank you, Johnny. Council, have any questions?
Yeah, just one quick one. The flood sign, when are we getting that?
They finally came in, believe it or not. We were able to go out and have a post of champagne, and they're basically waiting for 3 months, I think, for that. But the reason I was giving it took so long was the company we bought them from, they're not the manufacturer. Manufacturers supposedly ship them to them, and they're supposed to go over and make sure we got all the parts and pieces and everything else. And we delivered it with shrink wrap, like right from the factory. So I called that as he has a meeting, that did the full demo. And he's supposed to come down, come on, make sure he goes over that, we got all the right parts, pieces in before we take it apart. And we're not responsible for, using things we ship. I called him last week, he was supposed to be Tuesday, he hadn't showed up yet, so he's going along with the shipment of the signs. So Needless to say, I don't think we'll be purchasing two items right now. We haven't paid yet. All right, but it did look like everything was there last 2 months because of the sensitive radiator and everything's a little bit up and all, not too fresh. So, but hopefully I'm putting another call in now and then, or maybe even go to that, next week, hopefully it'll be here and we can install it.
All right, thank you, Don. All right, our town engineer is out of town for several weeks. So there's no report from the engineer. Code enforcement. Rich?
No.
Okay, yeah, for the month of March, we ended up with only 3 vehicles and 2 trailers that we had to have removed from the public right of ways. Luckily, we didn't have to have the sheriff ticket any of them this time. They were moved just by notices. One took several months, but they finally moved it. All of the ones you see in red are ones that have been ongoing issues that have complied with what we've asked. There's one there on one fine pending, but those people are now working on remedying what they have. The ones at the bottom are current issues from the last month. Spoke to several of the owners. Rental inspection just started back up again, so I had 7 of those this month, and then only 3 zoning applications. Last time we talked about the church project that's going to be going on in July. I met with the people from the church today, and we drove around the town for about an hour and a half and identified approximately 9 properties right now that we're going to look at. We're going to finalize that sometime next week and make sure that they're able to do the work and then contact these homeowners to see if they're willing to accept the work, and then we'll go from there.
Are those ones that are on that list? Or those are?
Some of them are on this list. Some of the ones that we had looked at initially were on the list, but it turned out that they were not homeowners, they were rental properties, so they were taken off the list.
It's just ones that are owner occupied.
Right.
That you guys are doing.
Right, that the church is.
What kind of, the 9 that you're looking at, why did you pick those, or what sort of?
One is the elderly lady that has a front door that literally doesn't secure, she kind of ties it shut with a lock. The house is old and kind of all-centered, and the door just won't shut, so they're gonna tear the door out and put a whole new door on. Another elderly lady who has a fence and shed in the back, which probably hasn't been in 20 years, it's just dilapidated, they're gonna take it down and clean the yard. There's 2 houses that don't have gutters on them, replace the guttering. They're gonna do some landscaping and mulching at the autism house. So those are the kind of projects that they're looking at.
This, for information for the council and public, this is the church that's located on the corner of Route 2 and Jewel Road.
Yes.
I'm not sure of the name of it. It's a Baptist Church.
Friendship Baptist Church.
Friendship Baptist Church.
And
They-
then Easter Sunrise Service.
They have a program where annually they take a week and volunteers from their church look for projects in the community. They have a number of members of the
I
congregation.
think that this one, we've got about 40 people that volunteer, but they anticipate there'll be more.
Remember, we had a discussion here about some of the elderly feeling intimidated about the
So they did ask also if I could ask if there was a way we could have a dumpster, as we do with the annual cleanup, that if we could provide a dumpster, they would actually be able to do, maybe add additional houses, so it would save them time from going back and forth to the landfill.
Of course.
So I thought that would be a problem down there.
You'll coordinate that. It's a week. What week
July
is it?
10th through the 7th.
Yeah.
July 10th, it's called, they call it Love Thy Neighbor.
Love Thy Neighbor.
And they select North Beach.
Yeah, there was some other houses that we looked at, that I had any others that were like just long-term code violations or properties that needed fixed up that, people were actually, they tried to do what they could, but couldn't. So we identified a couple of those, and they're gonna I'm gonna pull the property records and I'm gonna reach out, talk to all the homeowners first, see if they're willing. And then if people are saying yes, they are, then the church is gonna go out and visit the home and get a scope of work for each house and then go from there.
Because they also have some funds too, it's not just the labor, right? They'll pay for some of the supplies and things, or?
15,000?
Yes.
Yeah, somewhere.
Something in the range of 50.
Yeah, that's a good amount. Yeah.
And I think like there's, some of the malls and stuff they said, I think is, like they get donated, like there's companies that just, give them some stuff, so.
They have members of the congregation or in the construction business, probably landscaping.
So it went pretty good today, two nice guys, and rode around a couple hours, looked at the houses, and trying to go through the town.
So it'll be a wonderful opportunity for the church to partner with the town to help these individuals.
Do you need any other support from council, or just the dumpster basically is what you?
Yeah, I mean, they just asked for the dumpster, I mean, I'm sure they wouldn't turn down anybody who wanted to volunteer to do something, but, I mean, at this point, they just we wanna finalize the houses and what the projects are gonna be, and then they're gonna go from there.
Thank you, Larry.
Any questions, Rick? Okay.
Now, is Versus in April contacted the town yet? Because they usually do a couple houses in town every year too. I haven't heard anything.
I know.
It's a summer type program.
Yeah.
We've not been contacted about Christmas or April this spring.
Do we usually get contacted?
Yeah,
They go all around. I know they do.
they don't, okay.
They don't always.
But their diet is on that.
Well, thanks for your following up on that, Rick. Okay. All right, thank you. Ron?
Good evening. For the month of March, I worked printed on the website and links to get the site ready for the art festival and the sculpture competition. We needed buttons and links and stuff so people could register online and use PayPal through our website. We created a Dropbox so when they send in photos, they can do it that way rather than email. So all that's set on our website now. I continue working with Comcast on the television commercial. That's not completed yet. That would be up and running. Some spring advertisements, created ads for AAA World Magazine, the Calvert Library Foundation, auction, Twin Beach Players, and Abigail's dance program that we advertise in every spring. I attended and took notes at the pre-bid meeting for the Performing Arts Center feasibility study RFP. Did a walk with the group down to the potential site. I continue working on the RFP for the town website redesign. Again, working on the 3 town brochures. We have the waterfront brochure that Richard hands out to every guest, and it's got the fees and the rules and the events list in it. The second town brochure I'm still working on, that's the one that goes out to all the Maryland Welcome Centers and the Cabot County sites and things like that. And also the Beyond the Boardwalk brochure, I'll continue working on that and hopefully complete that next week. I revised and printed all the posters for the Welcome Center for this, the season coming out. After these brochures are done, full force on the newsletter. So I'm still taking anything for that through the 29th. Anyone has anything? Then my other daily tasks of the website updates, email blasts, Facebook posts, and things like that. For our website hits for the month of March, we had a little over 36,000, an average of 1,162 per day. After visiting the homepage, the top 3 pages were the waterfront rules, the 2016 special events list, and the fishing and beach pass fees. The top 3 downloads were, again, that feasibility study for the Performing Arts Center, the old one. Don't know why that one keeps popping up there. The 2015 State of the Town, and the Beyond the Boardwalk brochure. So people are looking at what to do beyond the boardwalk. So so that's good, hopefully they're gonna be out and about. And then our Facebook likes, for March, we got 44 new likes for a total of 6,632. And then you'll see there the upcoming events. The spring community cleanup is this weekend, where we have the dumpsters down in the parking lot for the town residents. Contest Care for the Town is the 23rd, so looking for volunteers for that. The Welcome Center opens on the 24th, and the farmers market starts May 6th. First movie on the beach is May 14th, and then the fire department does their carnival May 16th through the 22nd.
The commercial, what's the area that's going to air?
I don't have it in front of me, but we have a couple different zones and regions. I can maybe give you more details if you want more.
Like DC or?
There's a Potomac region, there's a couple different, I have a map
Okay.
of the
I'd be
area.
curious to know where it's airing. It's basically kind of a mount for the weekend kind of thing, or what's the angle?
The angle is, there's a lot of fun things to do here in the town of North Beach besides our beach. You know, we have the shops and restaurants, a great wedding venue, we have our parks and things like that.
This will be in the suburban DC area.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the different regions.
Calvert, Southern Calvert, PG, Annapolis area, Montgomery,
Northern Virginia?
Northern
They're
Virginia.
part of that, yeah.
It's a piece of it.
Yeah,
Um,
there's pieces of different areas.
There's one more, I can't remember.
That's okay.
That's
But,
good,
yeah,
that's
I
good.
think there's like 28 different networks.
Okay.
I don't want to say that. I think so.
That's a pretty good area.
It'd be nice when it's ready, maybe to show it at one of the meetings, because it's probably not gonna air right, you know, it may be in Calvert, or if you don't have Comcast, you
Yeah,
won't see it. You're kind of
yeah, we can, I mean, once it's done, it's
Yeah.
ours, I can put it on our website and
That would be good too.
wherever we, yeah.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you.
Well, while we're under marketing, last night, Mary said, come here, take a look at this on the computers. And Wilcox sent us something. Yes.
Oh, yes,
This might be the time to tell everybody what you discovered.
Oh, right, today what I discovered was that North Beach, as I'm now looking back, is one of the 15 Maryland towns that everybody knows everybody's name.
Wow.
We're number 11 in the list. Now, I don't know if they rank it or not.
Mhm.
That's a nice one. We're
My daughter found it in Virginia, so.
yeah.
What, it says something about North Beach.
Yes, it's
That's something really nice.
Give me just a moment here, I'll pull it up.
Yeah, John forwarded another link about, North Beach.
Were you aware of this, Dawn?
Not about the, everyone knows.
Well, you remember how we got the #1 Christmas town?
Yeah, it's of the same site, only in your state.
Oh, you appreciate it.
And let me just scroll down here.
Smith Island is #1.
North Beach, I'll just put it right here. North Beach, number 11, I'll just read it off. A beach town with tons of pride, North Beach has fun activities throughout the year, including a polar bear plunge and outstanding Christmas decor. This town has a blast while staying true to themselves.
That would be a good thing to add to the
And I
Facebook.
did read that part of it, but I didn't see the part about Maryland and
Well, it's what is
That's
it
the
called?
title of
The
it.
title of it,
Oh,
if I
okay.
recall
Yeah.
correctly. 15 small towns in Maryland where everyone knows your name.
Okay.
Is that on our Facebook page? That'd be great.
No,
Link.
no, I didn't.
It's got a nice picture of the
Put it
town.
on the
Yeah,
Facebook
check it
page.
out.
Yeah.
Some point out.
Link that to our page, Dawn.
I sent it.
I'm gonna do it now,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Anybody else see that?
Okay, well, sent it.
Okay, public comment. Yes, Reverend.
As you know, from one of the collaboration between the environmental committee and the economic development committee, it was decided that it would be nice to have a yard of the month. And so the committees came to, the garden club came to me, you know, thought both committees thought it was a really good idea, but they wanted someone to own it. So we were asked, and I put it to our membership, this is just background info for now, and voted that we would like to do it. To make a long story short, we have a planning committee who drafted that document. I shared it with the environmental committee, which I believe I never went looked at it, and the EDC. And this is our final document that sets the rules and the parameters for it. And we decided to do it from May through October, because in December we have the holiday lights competition, which is in the same vein, you know, decorating your house. And so I just left the documents for you to read, because we're going to start next month. And the planning committee, 3 out of the 4 members of the planning committee, which is also going to be the judging committee for the first year, are members of the environmental EDC. Jane and Shauna and myself, and then we have another garden club member. So we will purchase a sign, and the sign will just put based on, when you have time to read that document, that house will be announced at we'll judge on the 15th of the month, and then the following month, we'll announce it here. And we'll put a sign in their yard, and then that just rotates each month. So I wanted to let you know, be aware of it, because it was an outcome of these 2 committees collaboratively working and then coming to the garden club.
Glad to see you're busy.
We are busy. And then just for another quick one is the May Day Basket Contest. This will be our 3rd annual, May 1st. We'll actually have it on May 1st this year, which is a busy day because I know the blessing of the police that day and such. But we have been advertising it. Stacey's been great with getting out anything we need to move around town, and she's blasted that. We put it in, we put it through the schools, the flyers. The thing that's a little twist different this year, just if you have word of mouth to tell, you know, for yourselves and to tell your neighbors if you're interested in participating, is we're going to request free pre-registration, just so we know where to go and look. Because people take this time to make these May Day baskets, we want to make sure that we see them instead of, you know, just trying to drive around town and spot them. But
Yeah, I think you guys handed that out.
yes, we have.
Yeah.
That one we have, and Stacy has put it out, and yes. And the Garden Club has a Facebook page, by the way, now. We have that up and running, and it's on that. And
Thank you very much.
thank you.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, you moved a little too fast for me.
I'm so sorry. I know I talk fast.
And you were talking about other people participating in what?
Oh, on the May Day Basket Contest.
There we go.
Yes.
Okay, and you put that out on Facebook. I don't Facebook, so how can they make
Well, we have flyers.
Flyers downstairs.
Yeah, there are flyers downstairs, and at the post office I have flyers. Businesses have them, businesses around town.
Okay.
We gave them
I
flyers as
see no-
well.
Yeah,
So you can read it there or grab one.
thank you.
Right, it's May 1st, right.
All right.
Sorry
Also,
about that.
I send things like that, we call them email blasts. If you go to the town website and subscribe to e-news.
I do that, I get all the blasts, everything you send out, as far as emails concerned, about town, is that it?
Yes.
Yes, it
All
was
right,
on
so,
there.
I missed it, I just didn't know what you were talking about. All
Okay.
right, thank you.
There's some downstairs on the back.
All right, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
My usual, this is the last weekend for the TV players playing the Miser. It's a slapstick type comedy. It's very good. Cartoons, it's very phenomenal. Actors are really good. And I understand that the Inspector Clouseau came from this play. So that's kind of an idea of the kind of comedy it is.
So you have one more weekend,
Yes.
and what are the show times?
At 8 o'clock, Friday, Saturday, tonight, but Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday at 8, Sunday at 3.
Thank you. That's the Twin Beach Players.
And the Boys and Girls Club.
That's the Boys and Girls. You were coming. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I want to touch a little bit on what Deputy Phelps was speaking of earlier. I went Monday night to the Howard County Neighborhood Watch Committee meeting. Sheriff Evans was there, along with the head of the state police barracks and detectives for narcotics and things. Some of the things that they were talking about, overdoses have doubled in Calvert County since the same quarter of last year. The first quarter of January, Calvert County had 33 overdoses and 4 fatalities. And that's just in the first quarter of this year. They do not believe that Calvert County is a main production or distribution area. They believe a lot of the distribution is occurring in Annapolis and in Baltimore. A lot of times the arrests that they make and the things that are happening are people who are traveling to and from those locations. Gateway basically to St. Mary's County. Sometimes the French George is the way that they're going. Anne Arundel County, the same quarter, has had 127 overdoses with 3 fatalities, and that's just in the first quarter. So that's something that they're keeping a hard eye on. We need to watch it in the beach. We don't have as extreme a problem in the beach because we're so much smaller. But at the same time, we have to understand that these actions are what lead to our burglaries, our thefts, and eventually, other crimes. We want to prevent that, so we still put the motto out, if you see something, say something, if something looks suspicious, something doesn't look right, make a phone call so these guys can come and check it out. The second thing, and this is a good warning for all of you, Sheriff Evans, they are dedicated to 0 fatalities in Calvert County by speed. And they are cracking down on speeding drivers. So if you're like me and you got a lead foot, you might want to slow it down a bit. I will tell you, I left the meeting Monday night, and from 231 to Plum Point Road, I saw 5 officers with their lights on and their cars pulled over in that short distance. A young lady that I work with, she's been pulled over twice. So they are definitely cracking down on the speeders, so slow yourself down.
So they, for those of you who come down 260 in the afternoon, every day this week, there's been a monitor there.
Yes. So, with that being said, that brings me to my final reason for being up here. We've had concerns here on the beach with speeders. I know when you've spoken about them flying through to get to Anne Arundel County and in different areas. And our police officers do a fabulous job, it's just they can't be everywhere at once. So how do they know where to be and when to be there? So I've done some research on radar speed signs, and I put this together. I'm not going to read this whole thing to you because I know we all have places to go and the blacklist is on and the important things that are happening here tonight. But the, no, that's okay, I'll get it. The bottom line is the radar signs, and this says an HOH just because we're a smaller town, that's the perspective they gave us. But the radar signs calm traffic. You know yourself when you drive by that radar sign and it's flashing, speed limit's 25 and you're doing 30, you automatically slow down. They've done studies where they show it's calm traffic. It also helps people to be aware of the other signs in the area. And again, I'm not going to read this whole report to you. But this study shows that we can control the traffic. The cool thing about this is we can set it up before we turn it on, and you can monitor what's going on. It'll track the traffic, it'll track the speeds down to the quarter of an hour. It'll tell you from this time to this time, 18 cars went through here and they were going 35 miles an hour. We can put it into place before anybody even knows it's there. But then again, when you do turn it on, the flasher will notify. Now, the county has the sign that they put on the big trailer that they will loan us for up to 5 days, but we have to go on a waiting list. And as large as that trailer is, we really don't have room on our roads, especially out on Chesapeake Avenue, You would either block a sidewalk or you would block part of the road trying to put it into place. This type of sign actually would connect right to our sign. They run on batteries. The batteries will charge for up to 2 weeks. You can run it for 2 weeks. It has 2 batteries. You can run it a week at a time. The investment of this is about $3,000. That's a lot of money for the sign and for the software. So that's why I'm putting it to you now. So, you know, I know budget talks are coming in. It's something you can discuss. I talked to Deputy Naughton about it. He thought it was a good idea. You know, other than going on a wait list, we can put it where we want. In addition, with the tracking capabilities, it'll not only work for us as far as speed, but as far as town. How many people are coming into the town? How many cars are coming in? It'll help you monitor that as well.
You're doing kind of a pre and post, you're saying where you turn it on, it'll still track.
Yeah.
You can see if, like turning it on, how much people actually slow down.
Well, no, you can set it up so that it's tracking information without the flasher
That's
sign
what I mean,
telling
yeah.
people to slow down.
Yeah.
So you can catch where the problem is.
We actually have one route test and evaluate from a company. It's not, doesn't have the sign part, it's just a stealth. It's called a stealth radar. It's, we're in the Twin Beaches Patrol is actually where we're test and evaluate. And it does not have the sign, but it's something we want to use in the, basically developments and on the streets to get an idea. There's a belief that it's a perception of traffic speed, and it could be no problem because when you're on the smaller streets, you don't know if there's actually a speeding problem or not, and that's why we want a stealth unit. We've actually, we're going to test and evaluate now. She's added the sign to hers, that actually, we are going to have the sign on when we do test and evaluate. And we would probably, once we test and evaluate, we're going to approach both towns, just separate of this, to see if they wanted to go in between Chesapeake and North Beach to purchase the stealth unit. It should be, the company's still waiting on approval for management to test and evaluate. But it would basically track speed, that secures the pole, it tracks speed and lets you know the time periods when people are speeding, and if there is a speed problem. The problem we've had with signs, you put the sign up and no one speeds because they see the sign, which is good for having it there, but we don't get an idea if there is truly a speeding problem.
So you use it to guide you in future deployment?
Future, exactly. The stealth would basically say, okay, is there a speeding problem? And they'll tell you the times that people are speeding, so we can actually set a deputy out there. Or we can also say, hey, there's a slight speeding problem, maybe we just need the trailer out there. And if it works out in the beach, the county might actually get one also. Because the trailer's a nice thing, but the trailer kind of gives people an idea it's there, so we don't get a true idea what's going on. And you can't set a cruiser out there, a marked cruiser, because that doesn't really get the true idea what's going on. So this is a stealth unit, which is attached to the pole, no one knows it's there, and it'll actually collect data as it goes. And that's the concept she had, but the one we're testing did not have the option, or at least we're not looking for the option to attach the sign to, because we have the availability of the trailer if we need it. Now, Chesapeake Beach actually owns a speed trailer also. They actually.
Oh, it can be used in a couple of different ways.
Yeah.
And I just like the sign because, again, the flash, that 70 or 80%, I can't remember right off, but 70 to 80% of traffic will slow when they see that sign flashing, whether they're speeding or not.
Can this be used on some of the cross streets?
It can be used anywhere that there's a pole that they can attach to.
Determine which streets to get the speeders on? Because, I mean, my street goes all the way up to the town of Canada, and there's a lot.
Okay, council, will you put this information with your budget material?
Thank you.
Take it under consideration. Tom, you'll be coordinating our discussions with you.
Good,
You update us.
And when it actually comes in, we were gonna use it not only just to beach, but over here, and he's gonna let us have it for like 60 days. So we'll be able to use it in multiple places and get an idea of what's worth it.
Is 261 one of those places that you guys might want?
Definitely,
Okay,
we're gonna
excellent.
share between both towns, they're gonna get their fair share of it,
Okay.
and, so we get an idea, because we don't wanna just, the developments in, Richfield Station and everything over there, but also over here where Fifth Street, we get a lot of complaints, and You know, people run the stop sign and speed down Fifth Street and the other street, side streets, so we're gonna move it around. We're all, and collect data over, you know, kind of figure that, see if it's worth actually investing or not.
Linda, thank you for your continuing efforts on behalf of public safety
Thank you.
in the town. Any other comment? Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Sure. Yes, of course.
The little lady that keeps complaining about, I live behind Neptune's on First Street. The house next to us is abandoned. And 2 weekends ago, we found 2 syringes in our yard, where my grandchildren are and my dogs are. That door for that place has been open, and I've contacted them a couple times. The window is now open. And a couple of the neighbors pointed out along our fence between the 2 houses is an open area where evidently people sneak through, because the abandoned house has a little open area in the back. And finding those 2 syringe needles a couple weeks ago really scared us. Is there any way we can get the house boarded up?
I'll follow that with Bank.
Why don't you speak with this resident?
Because now the windows are open. So, and I have dogs, and I have the 2 grandchildren in the yard, and that was scary, it really was. So if we can get that boarded up, that would be awesome. Okay.
Do you offhand, you know the address?
I don't, we're 4042, so I'm guessing it's 4040 First Street.
Real familiar? Okay.
Yeah, if we can get it boarded up, that'd be awesome, and maybe even something put across the back there that people can't keep coming through at night time. Thank you.
We'll take it right out there tomorrow.
We're waiting for those, I'll try to contact Bank.
Thank you.
We know we have.
Thank you, that's very, very important. We'll just be sure to follow up on that. Okay, under business items, we have only one item, that is the election of a new council member. Do I have a motion?
I would like to make the motion to elect Jane Hagan to fill the current council vacancy position.
Second?
All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. It's unanimous. We'll swear Jane in next month. She's out, I believe she's out of town this weekend. Okay, under ordinance, by the way, I'd like to thank all of the candidates who appeared last week. Each of them would have been an asset to the council. And I hope the fact that they weren't successful this time don't discourage them. They were all very capable and obviously concerned residents of North Beach who are interested in giving back to the town. So thank you. And to the council, kudos to you, because you're a council that has demonstrated over the years that you're a good body to work with. You know, I can imagine scenarios where we advertise a vacancy and no one is interested. So that wasn't the case. So I'd like to thank the present council for the great job they do on behalf of the town. Okay, no ordinances or resolutions tonight. Randy, let's start with your report.
I have nothing to report except spring, I think. It's here, and I believe we open the beach in 2 weeks. And when does the farmer's market start? About the same time? May 6th, the next 3 weeks, so summer's coming.
Get ready, here it comes.
And in anticipation, thank you all for coming out tonight. In anticipation of the opening of everything is on 2 weeks from this Saturday, no, 1 week from this Saturday. On the 23rd is Plant the Town. And Comcast has done for many years. This will be my 5th year or 6th year participating. And it's always a great event. We'll like everybody to come out and plant all around and make our boxes look beautiful as they do every year.
Yeah, if you have any interest at all, please consider signing up for that, because Comcast contributes to the Boys and Girls Club cash every year based on the number of volunteers that we have. So You're not only helping the town with the planning, you're also helping our Boys and Girls Club.
I believe it was about 6,000, 7,000 last year. A month ago, something like that.
I would also just add, it's great to see everybody out tonight. In addition to the planting, it's also an opportunity, you know, some of the volunteers go down, all the way down towards the Walton Beach Preserve and pick up litter and trash down there, which can accumulate throughout the year. So we need people to help with that, to keep that looking good too. So hope to see you all out there. That's it.
Thank you, Gwen.
Everybody has hit everything I wanted to talk about. So thank everybody for coming out tonight, and I hope to see everybody next month.
Okay, the Nationals and the Orioles are off to a great start this year. And the Caps' first playoff game tonight.
It's on right now.
Can I have a motion to adjourn and to go into executive session to discuss real estate matters?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Thank you, the meeting is adjourned.